What is up, everybody? Welcome to the All Punked Up Podcast. I'm Tyler Winters. John Pierman is here. And John, there wasn't like a shit ton of news this week, but we do have some things that we could talk about. One of those is one of the bands from the scene has entered the Billboard Hot 100. So that's exciting. What else do we got? Oh, there's a reunion of an old butt rock band.
Nice.
Reunion teases happening. So I want to get your thoughts on that. And
love me some butt rock.
Yeah. And speaking of butt rock or butts, we're also going to talk about artists shitting themselves on stage because it happened to somebody recently. Well, it didn't happen to somebody recently.
I don't think of that as art, but
no. Well, it could be. It depends.
Depends what you do with it afterward, I think.
That's exactly.
I mean, do you just leave it? Do you smear it?
Right. And we'll get into all that.
Some sort of interpretive dance.
Right. You just, who knows? All right. So
you eat it.
That's gross.
Okay.
But before we get into all that, which I'm sure you're all excited about, I do want to mention, I want to say thanks to everyone who has signed up as a supporter of the show. This podcast has been going on for over 3 years now, and it really does mean a lot that you guys think enough of us to help keep this thing going. But I also want to mention, for those who also may be interested in hopping on and supporting the show, you can do so for as little as $3 a month, which is less than the cost of your morning coffee. You can help us continue creating great scene-related content without the need for us to rely on ads that can distract you from your listening experience. So by supporting us, not only would you be expressing your appreciation for us, but you're also letting us know that we're doing something right. So if this sounds like something you'd be interested in doing, please click the support the show link in the show notes. And if you're unable to contribute financially, we get it. That's fine. If you could, we'd still like to ask the favor of you leaving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and or on Spotify, because that can still show your support. And those 5-star reviews really do go a long way. So
it's just a couple of clicks, people.
Yeah, really. It really is.
You don't even have to mean it.
No.
Just click it.
Yeah. And paying on your phone, they make it so easy now. You don't even have to pull out your card. It's all saved.
It's like the money doesn't exist.
Yeah, really. And that's the best part. You just sign up and then you forget about it. And then the money just keeps coming to us.
Then 10 years down the road, you're like, what am I paying $3 for?
Yeah, I haven't listened to this podcast in 5 years. But yeah, so please, guys.
By then, the robots have taken over and there's no money anyway.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Good point. Thanks, John. All right, John.
We're just harvested for energy.
So let's get into it. Oh, wait. I have a joke written down here.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, hold on. Oh, okay. I have it written down because Barbie is the talk of the town. It's going to be opening, I think, next weekend. So we're recording this on July 15th, Saturday, July 15th at 9 a.m. I think it comes out next Friday. So that would be the 21st. So I got a Barbie
joke. Same week
joke.
as Oppenheimer, yes.
Yeah, so I got a Barbie joke for you.
All right.
Why can't Barbie get pregnant?
She doesn't have a vagina?
True, but also because Ken comes in a different box.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's good.
I like that.
Uh-huh. All right.
Well, she also doesn't have any female organs, from what I can tell.
She doesn't.
I've looked.
You've looked. All right, John. Here we go.
She's got an ass in her front.
She does, and so does Ken. So I don't know how it works. I hope they address that in the movie.
Just ass to ass.
And I don't think you can get pregnant that way, but I don't know.
Nope. Not in my experience.
Nope. All right, John. I know how you feel about Nickelback, but what do you think about what do you think about Creed?
I hate him.
Did you like him back in the day, though? 1999, 2000?
You know.
Be honest. It's okay.
I wouldn't say liked, but tolerated
Okay.
more. Than they're like, oh, it's kind of cool.
I feel like, and I could be wrong, so just be honest. You had their album, right? No?
Human Clay, yes.
Okay, so that was the good one. The better, that's the most popular one.
I was also, 12, 13.
So trying to figure it out.
I had a Power Man 5000 album, too, so.
When Worlds Collide, that song. Yeah. Yeah, it was a weird time.
It meant a lot to me.
It's a weird time when you're 12, 13, trying to figure out
Yeah, you're just trying to figure out what you like.
Yeah.
I thought I liked Rob Zombie. I didn't.
Rob Zombie had a couple good ones that I liked.
Some other people thought Eiffel 65 was the shit.
I don't know who thought that.
Everybody but me. Chumbawamba. Everybody had Tub Thumper, too.
Yeah. they had that. And I'll admit, I had the Eiffel 65 CD with Blue Daba D on it. Which that song has come back around because BB Rexa, who we talked about a couple weeks ago, she sampled that on her and David Guetta's song. So that song's come back around.
There's another song around that time period it was an 80s cover.
I'm
trying to remember
Blue
who it
Monday.
was. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Who's the Orgy?
Orgy. Yeah, good. Nice. I would have gotten it.
Thanks.
It would have taken me a while. But then
It's easy to remember.
didn't Marilyn Manson cover another like 80s song? I think it was around that time.
What it was.
Oh, Jesus, I got to look it up.
It was on one of like the horror soundtracks or something, like a Scream movie or something like that, or I don't know what you did last summer.
Sweet Dreams. That's it. That's what I was thinking of. But he also
The
did
Eurythmics.
He also did Tainted Love.
Or is that Annie Lennox?
It was the Eurythmics.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, Annie Lennox is the Eurythmics.
You're right,
But she
yeah.
had a solo career too.
Right.
So sometimes I get mixed up.
And then he also did Tainted Love.
That's what I was thinking of.
I do remember the Sweet Dreams one. I have to re-listen to Tainted Love.
Tainted Love is Soft Cell.
Okay. All right. So
And that's my 80s music trivia for the day.
we're talking about old music, John. Back when we were like really getting into it. So I bring up Creed. So why do I bring up Creed? Well, apparently they're doing
Creed shit themselves?
They are not yet. We're not into that yet. But apparently they've been doing some teasing. And let me read the post here. It's from Loudwire. Loudwire writes, Creed reunion talk continues to heat up following an update to the band's profile pictures on social media last week. Now the group has shared a teaser video for what is being dubbed the Summer of 99. And the Summer of 99, I believe, is when that Human Clay album came out.
God.
So
It was a bad summer.
that was basically when they skyrocketed, right? I remember that.
Stock 99.
Yeah, I remember that My Sacrifice song, and I really loved that from a guitar standpoint. We had just started our band at that time, so I was just learning guitar, and I just thought the guitar
Just makes you want to
octave
throw your
solo-
foot up on the monitor and solo.
for
man.
real. But I remember that guitar solo. It's just like an octave solo. I don't think it's anything special, but it just sounded so good on the record. Like that album was produced well. That song especially.
Yeah, was that the music video where everything's flooding?
I think so. Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
But With Arms Wide Open was just terrible.
Everybody loved it though, except you. That was arguably their most popular song, was it not?
Yeah, I mean it's up there.
So on Spotify,
Their first
right
one was
now,
pretty big too. What was the breakout tune?
One Last Breath, maybe. I don't know.
No,
higher had to have been.
Yep.
It. Yeah. And then What If was another one. That was a good one.
I believe that's off the first record. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people went back and bought their first record after they bought Human Clay, I think. So kinda had a resurgence probably.
What If was on Human Clay.
Damn it!
They had a lot of good songs on this one. I mean, you could see why this was it. I mean, they had What
It
If.
reminds me a lot of like Live. Live had that one big record.
Yep.
The similar.
So anyways, back to this teasing clip. So it shows photos of Creed throughout the years, set to music from the Human Clay song Are You Ready, which was the album's opener. And then Loudwire writes that text on the screen appears with the words, Let's go back to the summer of 99. And then after that, more text says, coming soon, 7.19. So we will be hearing some announcement on July 19th, just days before your birthday, John. So this has got to get you excited. So
Happy birthday.
and apparently back during the pandemic, they changed their social media profile pics, I think. So that got people wondering what the heck is going on. So maybe this has been brewing for a while. You wonder if it has been brewing. Are they just kind of setting up tours? Were they recording music? Were they getting in, were they starting to write music? I don't know. What do you think, John? Are you gonna, with arms wide open, are you accepting this reunion?
I don't want it. I'm gonna do everything in my power to make it not happen.
Okay. Is there anything in particular that you're thinking of doing to keep this from happening?
If I could run some of them down with my car,
Okay.
in a remote area where there's any sort of traffic cam or anything
Sure.
like that, where I can get away with it cleanly. Probably incriminating myself right now,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'd love to run them over with my car.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine if something happens to where one of them gets run over by a car in the next few weeks and then this surfaces? Can you imagine?
I dug my own grave here.
Yep. All right.
What if?
What if? All right. So I guess we'll find out on July 19th. You know, with all the nostalgia, the reunions that are happening in the scene, I mean, I don't know that we would. I don't know if we consider this part of the scene or not, because we talk about pop punk, we talk about emo most of the time. But you know, around the time when
butt rock is right there,
it really is. It was in line with butt rock, new metal, pop punk, emo.
3 Doors Down.
It was all peaking at that around this time, or starting to peak at this time. So,
I mean, it was like the last great era for rock music.
It really was
being popular. Not that the music itself was great, but
right.
You know,
but
just the last gasp of popularity.
But it was an exciting time for anybody in a band or anybody who played music or appreciated instrumental music, you know?
Yeah, but keep your feet off my monitor.
You're not a fan of that? It's like a power stance.
Your dirty ass boots off the monitor.
Okay, fine. All right.
Oh, and enough with the Jesus pose.
The Jesus pose?
I always do the
Oh, got
pose.
you. Okay, arms out. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Standing, looking up. It's like a T-shaped body. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just yuck. That's my reaction to it.
Let's just go ahead and move on, because this is clearly not sitting well with you. So, I mentioned at the top of the show, one band has entered the Billboard Hot 100, and that is Fall Out Boy making their Billboard Hot 100 comeback with their revamped version of Billy Joel's We Didn't Start the Fire. So that's exciting. I guess the last time they did this was, I have to pull up the article because I don't have it written down here. The last time that they entered the Hot 100 as a lead act was in 2016 with their song Irresistible. So 7 years later, they re-enter, this time with their own version of We Didn't Start the Fire, which we've already talked about and reviewed. We both liked it. This is kind of exciting for Fall Out Boy. I think I wonder if this is good for the scene. I think it's not bad for the scene, but I wonder how good it is. Does it move the needle for the scene? I don't think it does.
I don't think it does either, because it's kind of just a one-off kind of song. It's not like it was...
Right.
It's not like a direction they're going where there's going to be more of that kind of stuff. I think it was just nostalgic enough for people to latch onto.
Exactly. And then the lyrics, you know, people want to keep listening again because the lyrics are fast. They go back, they listen to it again to see what references are in there. You know, I think it's just one of those ones that you want to kind of keep going back and listening to the lyrics, and it's a good tune. They did it justice. But yeah,
I assumed it was doing well because I heard it at the post office, like on
really?
the radio at the post office.
Oh, wow.
Like, oh, that's odd.
That's cool. That's good. So it's getting some mainstream airplay, perhaps.
In Springfield, which is... You know,
yeah, right. Which is probably a good indicator that says, hey, this is being played in way bigger markets, too. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I bring up, too, like, I wonder if it moves the needle at all for pop punk, emo. I don't think it does, and which I think is kind of sad in a way, because I've been kind of feeling like the hype of pop punk and emo like has kind of plateaued. I don't think there's as much excitement as there was when MGK was doing his thing. And
I think Blink's new album will be a good litmus test, like how well it does.
Yeah, I feel like we need a big splash. I think the Fall Out Boy thing is a good start. Like I said, I don't think it moves the needle nearly as much, but I think we need Blink to come through, and I think we need the labels to come through to actually push that sound to radio, because let's be honest, mostly what we hear on mainstream radio is manufactured by somebody, and it's the labels that push that stuff. So hopefully they give it a chance, and then maybe that will open the doors for other bands to come through, because right now it just seems like it's more leaning towards nostalgic acts or older acts like your Blink-182s. Like MGK obviously made some noise, but you got Yellow Card coming back. Fall Out Boy's always doing well. I mean, there's others, but I feel like more of the attention is on the older acts right now. So I think maybe those older acts need to do something big to maybe open that door a little wider somewhere bands can come through. I don't know. That's just me kind of thinking off the top, but you just kind of wonder when it's going to be the young kids' turn, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's got to come back around, but, you know.
And then also I've been thinking, I wonder too if there's some type of musical shift in a way happening, because the pop punk that we cover now, John, it's not like the pop punk that we grew up listening to that everybody seems to love. Everybody that's hyped about all these nostalgic acts doing their thing. We're all used to a certain type of pop punk, but now there's like this new wave of pop punk happening. You got your Magnolia Parks, you got your 408s, you got Lolo, you got Stan Atlantic, you name it, right? I wonder if there's some type of musical shift in the terms of, or in regard to pop punk, and like, it's not just guitar driven. It's not just, I don't want to say live recording, but like people going into the studio and actually playing something. It seems like it may be more studio drum beats, maybe more effects, less band, more solo stuff, less emphasis on live instrument recordings, maybe. I don't know. I just wonder if the new pop punk is going to be what we get from now on. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this, but I do wonder if we're in some type of musical shift where we need to almost come to terms with, we're not going to get the old sound that we're used to, because I feel like the more pop punk that we're getting now with like maybe the 808 beats or whatever, trap beats, all this stuff, I wonder if that's more sexy when it comes to mainstream radio. So I don't know. I'm kind of interested to see which form of pop punk, I guess, comes in front. I don't know what your thoughts are.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be more hook based, at least for the time being. Like trying to find that kind of, I hate to always use TikTok as a reference, but that kind of segmented kind of music where people attach just to that portion of a song almost.
Right. Yeah. So I think you're right. But yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see where it goes. I guess we'll just see.
I mean, at this point, it's not like a video is going to make something go viral, like a music video or anything like that. Like that doesn't even take hold really anymore. So,
I think, and I was wondering about that too. And maybe we brought it up on a podcast, but like, what is the point of music videos anymore? And because you don't have your MTVs, you don't have your VH1s where they play music videos. And that used to be the big thing. And that's what would push new music. And plus, you get to see your favorite artists, like what they look like, because back, in the 90s, you didn't know unless you went and saw them live, or they were on, being interviewed somewhere, or playing on like the Late Show or something like that. But then I started thinking, music videos are good in that it's just another form of streaming media. So, I listened to the song 2 times on Spotify. How are you going to get me to listen to it again? Well, you drop a music video. So now I'll go check out the music video at least to see what that's like. So it is a way to push more streams.
Yeah.
And
I don't think they have to be as reliant on music videos to be seen anymore.
Right.
I mean, with social media, they can be seen every day.
Exactly.
Multiple times a day.
And it sounds like, too, if music videos cost as much as they did back in the day, I guarantee you today we would not have music videos at all. Because there's no return on investment there. But nowadays, these things could be shot with an iPhone that everybody has. And it's just another form of content now, but lot cheaper to get done. So, well, that was a decent discussion all about Fall Out Boy entering the top 100. So,
what number were they?
I think they entered at, the song debuted at number 94 on the chart. And I guess I should say it was fueled by 4.7 million streams, 767,000 radio audience impressions, and 9,000 downloads.
I want to say I'm going to give Creed a stream when it comes out of my piss.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll piss all over it.
Damn.
One stream.
One long stream, right? Continuous stream.
I'm going to be streaming it for a while.
Okay. I want to also say that Fall Out Boy now has a total of 21 Hot 100 hits, with their highest charting song being This Ain't a Scene, It's an Arms Race, peaking at number 2 in 2007. So,
who could forget?
Yeah, who could forget? But Fall Out Boy, I mean, man, one of the greatest bands out of the scene ever.
Sugar isn't higher up there.
I know, right? But
that was a big song.
I mean, it's probably up there.
I think Dance Dance might have been bigger than Sugar We're Going Down, actually. That was a big one, too.
Let's see. Looks like in the United States, the song Dance Dance peaked at number 9 on Billboard Hot 100 in January 2006. And you said Sugar We're Going Down. That one, it spent 5 weeks in the top 10 and 20 weeks in the top 20. Let's see what it actually went to, though. Come on, Wikipedia.
I'm assuming it peaked higher than 9 if it was on there for 5 weeks, but
It peaked
top 10.
Peaked at number 8. So
oh, wow.
It did peak a little higher than Dance Dance. So there you go. All right, John. Let's move on to something a little shittier. Did you happen to see, John, where Joe Jonas of the Jonas Brothers, they revealed a very old secret of him shitting himself while performing on stage? So he actually revealed this to some publication. I can't remember which. And then it basically
Scat
trended.
Monthly.
It trended amongst all of the publications out there. Everybody's posting about it, so it's no secret anymore. So let me read it here.
It's a smear campaign.
You think so?
Yeah.
I see where you're going with this. So Rolling Stone writes, Joe Jonas isn't your typical oversharing celebrity, but the singer recently spilled a secret even government torture couldn't get out of most people. And that's true. He says, during an appearance on the KISS Network's Will and Woody for the Drive Home radio show, the Jonas Brothers member flashed back to a moment on their 2019 comeback tour when he shit himself on stage while wearing white pants. Like, that's got to be the worst time to do it. Am I right?
Timing, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Jonas says, something that I've never told anyone. Well, I was with a few friends yesterday, and we were just talking about, there's a point in your life as an adult where you can remember the last time you shit your pants. Okay. He says, this was about 4 years ago. It's fresh, but I've been able to work through it. Let's just say...
I don't know how he kept it fresh for 4 years.
I know, right? Let's just say it was a bad day to choose to wear white clothing. He goes on to say, you think it might have been a little toot. It might have been a little something else, a little something extra, he added. He goes, there's a wardrobe.
This sounds like a shart to me. This doesn't sound like a full-on shitting of pants.
Right. Because you don't know, right?
Well, I mean...
Sometimes you don't know.
There's an odds game. There's a chance.
There's always a chance, is there not?
There's a tonality to it, and you're like, well, I don't know. And what I'll do is I'll kind of bounce up in my seat a little bit if I'm sitting down, and I can get, okay,
like
we're in trouble.
Yeah, so you say no or go at that point, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Never white pants though. I don't
know.
No.
Just no.
If you have any sort of gurgling going on,
don't test it. Don't test it. Anyways, he goes on to say, there's a wardrobe change halfway through the show, and maybe it was a little bit like, oh, that was an interesting choice to change clothes that quickly. He goes, so that's a story I've never told, and also that's just real life. Also, it was a light one. It wasn't a full.
Yeah.
So that's important because if it's a full one, chances are it's going to show through the pants, right? Like, you don't want that. Don't want that at all.
Yeah, you have a minor incident that can kind of stay in that unseen area.
Right.
I mean, you want to deal with it.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's not, run off stage.
No.
Pinching your butt cheeks together kind of emergency.
No. So, dude, I read this and it got me thinking. So I was like, how many artists have shit themselves on stage? And I just did a quick little Google search and I came across some.
Well, the famous Fergie.
Right. That
number one incident. That one. Not a number two.
Yep. But. She just peed herself and she kept going. There's plenty of pictures out there. She was on my list. That was during a performance of Let's Get It Started, I think, maybe. So she got it started quick. But dude, your girl, Phoebe Bridgers, she had a moment where she pooped on stage.
Nice.
Pooped her pants. She
pay 6 figures to see that.
So you pay 6 figures to see that?
Edit that out.
6 figures. Oh my gosh. All right.
Second mortgage.
So she was talking about playing bad shows, and I think she was reminiscing of the good old days of playing like dive bars and stuff like that. And how she took a lot of her bad shows for granted, I guess. But then she goes, but this article on UProc says the singer then remembered a particularly traumatic live performance, one she does not wish to relive. And these are Bridger's words here. She goes, I had food poisoning, and the label was like, well, if you're sick, that's fine, but it's really cool you got booked. They didn't put pressure on me. I was just trying to underplay how sick I was. I was like, I'm fine. And I was sweating. Then I got on stage, and 3 songs in,
oh yeah,
she goes, and I guess that's when it happened. She said it was only a little bit, and she had been wearing a long dress at the time. Thankfully, no one else but Bridgers herself had noticed. She goes, it wasn't like I fucking destroyed myself, which I love her choice of words there. But yeah, wearing a dress. And imagine being like front row, and then you're just looking at her. You just happen to like maybe look down at her feet for whatever reason, and you just see this like turd drop and hit. Like,
oh no, there's no consistency to it in these situations. It's
no, I know. Yeah, that's true.
If you can imagine a squeeze bottle of ketchup when it's empty, you know, in that last spray.
Yeah,
that's what we're talking about here.
Okay.
So,
yeah. It would have looked like maybe at most a dirty rain sprinkle at most. Mm-hmm. Okay. And chances are it would have caught leg and all that. And that's assuming she didn't have any underwear on, of course. But
if skunks emitted Hershey's chocolate syrup.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
And that
it would be in that vein.
I think that's the quantity we're talking
about.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So another artist that ended up on this list is Chris Brown.
Oh, the irony.
Yeah. Nice. Let me find that real quick. Okay, so
couldn't happen to a nicer guy, I think.
This happened on this was posted on Opera News, so whether this is true or not, I don't know.
I hope he was shitting blood.
It was, oh damn. In 2011, during an MTV scene of When I Was 17, Brown opened up to the group and recounted to the account of how he crapped his jeans. This is not well written, by the way. He alluded to it.
He accounted the account of his accounting.
Yeah, he alluded to it as starting a blend of crap and fart. Okay, I think that should say sharting. Yeah, so he alluded to it as sharting, a blend of crap and fart. The story goes, he was in front of an audience performing when it occurred. At first, reasoning it would simply be a fart. However, he didn't quickly take care of business. Rather, he realized he would change into another outfit, so he just went with it for the whole melody. He goes, I recall it running down my leg. So that's a serious one, probably. He's probably wearing boxers if it's running down his leg.
Well, I mean, if you have a sweat issue, I mean, it's going to commingle.
Sure.
With any sort of body sweat.
Right.
And then you just got a mess.
Yeah. John, I love how you can relate almost, like.
Well, I can't say that it's never happened to me.
Okay, here we go.
Never on stage, though. I will say that. Mostly in vehicles. You know, when you don't have a bathroom available.
You're more likely to take chances because you're by yourself.
Yeah. Sometimes you're just sick and it happens. Also.
Okay.
Yeah. I the only time I can recall, not being at home and doing it, I was with another band member from one of our
I remember
fellow bands, and we were out to look at a van to take on tour.
I remember this.
And we were kind of going outside the city, so it was kind of in the country, and I was like, I kind of fart. Let rip. Back in those days, we just let them rip. The good old days.
The good old days.
And
one, it's just because men can really appreciate another man's blast of a fart. I mean,
trapped in a small space, why not let it loose?
Yeah.
And it was a wet fart. And my reaction was, oh boy. And then he, of course, was like, you sharted, didn't you? And I was like, yeah. I was like, we still got to go look at this van, though.
Oh, man.
So I just kind of backed around the van and, no, I don't think we want it. We got to go.
Hearing hearing Pharaoh tell that story, I could see it. Like, I remember him telling the story. Well, you both were telling the story at the same time, but his reactions, oh my God, those were the best.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll still remember.
Oh, I bet he does.
And I know it happened to one of our bandmates also when we were going up to the radio station in Chicago. We were just got out of town.
Yeah.
And
we'll just say it wasn't John or I.
Nope.
And we were only going up as a 3-piece at that point because somebody
wasn't
back.
available. Yeah.
So without incriminating him, we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. I'm not going to say it was Alex.
Okay. Yeah, don't say that because Ryan was at home, so it couldn't have been him.
Formal Wave Park, just surrender.
Yep.
Just surrender your bowels.
Yep, that's what he did. And so was that on the way there? And so we performed on that radio show, and he
was able to. We pulled over and got him cleaned up. I think we powdered him.
Okay, we powdered him.
Yeah,
like good bandmates do. Mm-hmm. Okay, so one other shitting incident.
Who's a big boy? Legs kicking.
I should see Alex laying on his back with his legs in the air. Okay.
Well, you don't want to rash.
No, you don't. We're always looking out for each other. I mean, it was more about that than the music for us. Anyways, one other artist that I want to bring up who shat himself is Ed Sheeran.
Elvis.
Yeah, he did. He saw himself out on that one too.
To death.
Yeah. But in an old interview, it says on this one website that I can't pronounce, Koimoy, Ed Sheeran had revealed the incident that took place in one of his concerts. It so happened that the British singer had once pooped his pants thinking that he just wanted to pass a fart. See, it just happens.
It's a dangerous game.
While talking about the topic with an Australian radio station, Nova FM, Sheeran said, I actually misjudged a fart one time, which ended up being a shart. He said it was...
Good rule of thumb.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you've had a less than ideal bowel movement in the last 24 hours, you hold the fart.
Hold it in. Hold it.
You don't roll the dice.
No, you don't. And Ed Sheeran knows that now. Actually, anybody who's sharted knows that now. But Ed Sheeran goes, it was like midway through a performance and I was really lively. And then halfway through, I was like, all right, I'm just going to stand for the rest of the performance and hope it's over soon and then go home and throw these trousers out. Yeah, so that would be weird to go to an Ed Sheeran show. He's lively. He's moving around the stage, doing his thing. And then all of a sudden he stays put in one spot. He ain't moving.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so if you go to an Ed Sheeran show and you see that, chances are he sharted again. But yeah, happens to the best of us. I can happily say that this has not happened to me.
You've never sharted? Never?
No, I have not. I haven't.
Great. Good for you.
Thanks.
Congrats.
There is this one time I remember as a kid, and one of my sister's friends was over, and she was telling this story about her grandma, I guess, like coming home, like I don't know if like maybe grandma picked her up from school or whatever, and she's like, we have to get home. We have to go home now. Grandma was, prairie dogging it, maybe, I don't know. And so
these stories are way too hot for the morning, man. If we're going to tell hot stories like this,
drink your coffee,
evening podcast,
drink your liquid brown coffee.
I need a bucket of ice water.
Anyways, so they get home, right? Grandma's taking the little girl home. They're running.
I wrote a song about this.
They're running up the stairs. I'm guessing running up the stairs. Maybe they live in an apartment or something. And all you can hear.
Can you imagine seeing your grandma take 3 steps at a time? She's in such a hurry. She's hurtling up steps.
Well, the walking was not helping cases, not helping the
aiding
case.
Gravity.
Yeah. And so she says, I was behind my grandma and I just see this shit coming out of her shorts, like running down her leg and stuff.
I was picturing her filling up pantyhose full of shit.
That'd be the worst, I think. Gosh.
Like the worst sausage you've ever had.
The worst. Wow. Well, John.
Granny shit herself.
This episode may have shit itself. I think we should probably just... Should we call it? Should we call it on
let's
this one?
wipe and clean up and Flush.
And then we'll be ready for the next one. All right, guys, that'll do it for this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're really digging our show, please consider helping us spread the word, leaving us a review on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify. Those 5-star reviews are always greatly appreciated. And please let us know with that review what you'd like us to talk about, what you like most about the show. So with that, thanks again. Remember, spread love. Peace.